This is Scene 1, Episode 1. No!
It's definitely not.
This is Episode 6, Scene 1, Introduction. Marseille and Barcelona.
That's loud. Did you know that you could explore 2 incredible countries in just 48 hours? Well, that's exactly what we did. And this episode has it all. First up was my very first visit to Marseille. From grand cathedrals to sweeping hilltop views. We covered some serious ground and even stumbled upon a lively local market tucked between the winding streets. Then it was to Barcelona. Cable cars, castles, art, and a mission to find the elusive alley hop. Spoilers, it didn't quite go. What was that?
You have to put on the bloopers.
I guess, yeah. But spoilers, it didn't quite go according to plan. The sail away, picture perfect, with Norwegian, Marella and MSC ships gliding gracefully out to sea. We wrapped it all up with a dreamy dinner at the Olive Grove. Fish cakes, creamy carbonara and a dessert that is worth every calorie. So stick around. We've got a lot to get through.
And you won't want to miss a moment.
And you won't want to... Okay.
Do you want to say it in Spanish?
No, I can't say it in English. Bienvenue in Marseille. And what a way to kick things off. Our first stop, the stunning Cathedral La Majeure. Is that how you actually say it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Towering over the waterfront, this 19th century masterpiece is one of the largest cathedrals constructed in France since the Middle Ages. From there, we made our way to Palais du Phare. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, well you must say it that way, mustn't you? Because it's French.
I don't know.
Palais du Phare.
Originally commissioned by Napoleon III as an imperial residence, it now offers some of the best panoramic views of Marseille's harbour. Next up, Point de Vue Corniche.
Point de vue Corniche.
Point de Vue Corniche.
Yeah, so point de
Point-
vue
point-
de... Yeah, just say, yeah, if you say it slowly, you'll probably be able to do it there. Point de
Vue
vue Corniche.
Corniche.
Yeah.
Point de Vue Corniche.
There you go.
There you go. A scenic lookout along the Cornish-Kennesty coastal road. It's a favourite with locusts.
Locust.
I'm thinking of the last episode, don't I?
There's locusts everywhere.
It's a favourite with locals and tourists alike. And once you see the Mediterranean stretching endlessly before you, you'll understand why. We then wandered up to the Villa Valmer. Does it sound French?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Well, it does to me.
Okay. Though not open to the public, the grounds are a peaceful spot to admire the architecture and soak in more of those sea views. Four stops, countless views, and none façon que commencer. What? I think that was right, was it?
Lucy said nanu.
The new.
Not nuna. Oh no, I can't. Nuna façon.
Nuna façon. Okay. Nous ne façon.
No, nu.
Nous ne façon. Nous ne façon de commencer.
Not de. Okay.
4 stops, countless views, and nous ne façon que commencer.
The end bit was wrong.
Commencer.
You said come on the stairs again.
Is it commencer? Okay, right.
I
I've got
know.
it.
Sorry.
Nous ne façon. Nous ne façon que commencer. I could say it.
Says, you say says on the end.
4 stops. I've forgotten the English bit now.
4 stops, countless views, et nuna façon que commencer.
4 stops, countless views, and nous ne façon que commencer. Our Marseille journey continued with a visit to its most iconic landmark. Notre-Dame de la Garde.
De la Garde.
Notre-Dame de la Garde.
Yeah.
Known affectionately as La Bonne Mère.
There you go. That's the French speaker.
Thank you, thank you. The Good Mother.
Sounds pretty weird that it's the good mother.
Or the Good Mother.
Or
I guess
as
that's
the-
the translation.
Or as known in English.
This basilica sits atop the
Sorry, the way I went.
This basilica. I can't even speak the English bit now. What's going on?
Because you
I'm like-
spoke too much French.
I spoke too much
Nuna
French.
façon que commencer.
Oh, je suis la garçon. I don't know what that means.
I am the boy.
I am the boy. Oh God, don't say that.
You're the boy who lived. Je suis le garçon. Je suis le garçon qui vit.
This basilica sits atop the highest natural point in the city at 150 metres above sea level and was built between 1853 and 1897. Next, we made our way to Palais Catalan, a bustling roundabout and square in the heart of Marseille. It's known for its dramatic column and fountain, a popular meeting point and a great spot to soak in the city's energy. I marvelled at the majestic sight of Palais Longchamp. Completed in 1869, this grand monument was built to celebrate the arrival of water to Marseille via the Canal de la Dolence. It's home to both the Natural History Museum and the Fine Arts Museum. But even if you don't go inside, the architecture and gardens alone are worth the visit. From sacred heights to city squares to neoclassical grandeur, Marseille continues to impress. Dun, 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 dun. After a day of exploring Marseille's grand cathedrals and sweeping coastlines, it was time to slow things down and take it all in.
This is the captain speaking, and once again, welcome home to Arvia. I do hope that you had a great day here in Marseille. I certainly did. It's my first time ever to go ashore in Marseille, and I had a wonderful day. So at the present time, we are singling up our lines, but we do expect the MSC Arvia to sail first, and then we should be off the dock. There's a possibility that a ferry will also slip out after the MSC ship before we ultimately clear through the breakwater. We did all the difficult work this morning to bring the ship around and back it down, so we'll just be coming ahead on the engines through the breakwater, and then our pilot will disembark on the starboard side. And ultimately we'll set a course down to the southwest to clear out of Marseille Bay, and then ultimately overnight as we run down towards Barcelona, where tomorrow morning at 6:30 our pilot will embark, and we'll be alongside the passenger terminal comfortably in time for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, shuttle bus service in Barcelona, so please do read your horizon paper this evening. And also, very importantly, tomorrow the gangways will be shore gangways up on deck 6 level, and that will be in the atrium just by the Vista coffee shop. So in the meantime, we'll be preparing for departure. Have a great evening and a wonderful time tomorrow in Barcelona. Thank you.
Later that evening, we grabbed a few more bites. Nothing fancy, just a little something to end the day on a tasty note. Because on Arvia, even the small moments feel special. Done. Day 9 began with the comforting aroma of a cooked breakfast aboard Arvia. The perfect fuel for another day of exploration. At 8:43 in the morning, we stepped off the ship, greeted by a bustling port scene. It was a treat to see other cruise ships like Norwegian, Marella and MSC docked with us, each enjoying their own Mediterranean adventures. Our first stop had us heading skyward via the Montjuic cable car, a scenic 7-minute ride offering panoramic views of Barcelona's coastline and cityscape. The destination, Castel de Montjuic, a 17th century fortress perched atop the Montjuic hill. Originally built for a military defence, the castle now serves as a cultural venue and lookout point, with sweeping vistas that make the ascent well worth it. Next, we wandered into the Jardin de Jean Brossa, a quiet hillside park named after the Catalan poet. While modest in size and offerings, the park provides a peaceful green space with sculptures and shaded paths, ideal for a short breather before the next stop. The Grand Museo Nacional de Art de Catalunya. The museum is renowned for its expensive collection of Romanesque church paintings and Catalan art. Unfortunately, our visit fell on a Monday, when the museum is closed. A minor setback, but the building's majestic facade and surrounding steps still made for a memorable sight. After a morning of cable cars and castle views, we ventured deeper into Barcelona, in search of something delightfully quirky. An alley hop store. Known for its playful gifts and iconic cow mascot. Alley hop is a favourite among travellers looking for fun souvenirs. But despite our best efforts, the mission didn't quite go to plan. No cow, no shop, just a few puzzled glances and a growing list of places we didn't find. Our wanderings led us to the Palca de Catalunya. Palsa de Catalunya.
Oh. Plaza de Catalunya.
Plaza de Catalunya. Right. One of Barcelona's busiest and most iconic squares. It's the beating heart of the city, connecting the old town with the modern shopping district.
Oh my lord!
What?
Is this heaven?
Pigeons. Everywhere. They strutted across the pavement like they owned the place. Flocks of them, walking about, pecking, posing, and generally making themselves known. It was chaotic, charming, and oddly entertaining. Next, we strolled down to the Mirador de Colón, a towering monument dedicated to Christopher Columbus. Standing at 60 metres tall, it marks the spot where Columbus reportedly returned to Spain after
He reportedly returned.
After his first voyage to America. You can even take a lift up to the top for panoramic views of the port and city. Though we admired it from below this time, soaking in the history and grandeur. With our time in Barcelona coming to a close, there was time to wave goodbye to our fellow cruisers before continuing our Mediterranean adventure.
Well, a very good evening, everyone. This is the captain speaking. Welcome home to Arvia. I do hope that you had a great day here in Barcelona. Certainly has been more cloudy than we would have expected. Well, at the present time it's very busy in the port of Barcelona. There's another cruise ship just departing from the berth ahead of us, Marella, and she'll be sailing down the port side, and there's another one ahead of that. But in the meantime, we are just finalising some administration duties before the ship can depart, and as such, we will then be at the behest of the port. We have to give notice for sailing, but it's a particularly busy port with the arrival of ferries throughout the evening. So I'll make another broadcast when we are in a position to sail. But good evening everyone, this is the captain speaking again, and I'm pleased to say that our linesmen have arrived and we have our engines online and have started to signal up our lines. We are just awaiting the arrival of the pilot, and once he is here we will then depart from the berth, as I say, back up, swinging the ship around and heading out to Barcelona. Do enjoy a relaxing day at sea tomorrow. Thank you.
That evening we dined at the Olive Grove, Arvia's Mediterranean-inspired restaurant. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, perfect for reflecting on the day's adventures. Starters was fish cakes, crispy on the outside and packed with flavour. Main course was the spaghetti carbonara, and this was not just any carbonara, it was very, 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 very nice. A standout meal of the holiday, no less. And a delicious dessert to round everything off. From grand cathedrals to sweeping coastal views of Marseille, to hilltop castles, bustling squares and pigeon-filled plazas of Barcelona, we'd explored 2 vibrant cities in 2 countries in 2 days, each with its own rhythm, charm and surprises. We rode cable cars, admired centuries-old architecture, chased down elusive souvenir shops and recorded time-lapses of ships gliding out to sea. We wandered through parks, marvelled at monuments and indulged in Mediterranean flavours at the Olive Grove. Fish cakes, creamy carbonara and a dessert that was nothing short of dreamy. It's a whirlwind of sights, sounds and stories, and every moment felt like a postcard come to life. Now, with the city lights fading behind us, we're heading into a sea day, a chance to rest, recharge and relive the memories before arriving at our final port of call, Cadiz. So stick around because the adventure is not over yet.